Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today we'll be talking about the disaster that was the New York Jets last night against the Denver Broncos. Before we get started, just wanted to mention you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. If you haven't already, please check out the podcast wherever it is you get your podcasts or right here on the channel. New episodes are dropping every Wednesday. You can call in, leave me your questions, and I'll try to get to them on the show. So we're going to start with an interesting decision. The New York Jets decided to dress Mekhi Becton, but decided that he wasn't healthy enough to get the start. Probably should not have been dressed if that was the case. Anyway, Chuma Edoga would get the start. And then after about 3 plays, he would get hurt. So Mekhi Becton comes off the bench, comes in, and he did not look 100%. This was stupid. I don't know why he was in this football game. He clearly did not look ready to go, but that's what happened on the very first possession, by the way. Also on the first possession, an unbelievable touchdown for the 3rd week in a row from Sam Darnold. So he drops back. It looks like it's going to be an obvious sack. He somehow avoids the rush, jukes a man out at the line of scrimmage, and runs 47 yards for a touchdown. Was it Lamar Jackson? Was it Sam Darnold? That was unbelievable. Ironically, again, the touchdown was nothing to do with Adam Gase. It wasn't a scripted play. It was Sam Darnold improvising, which looked really good. And like I said, it looked like a sure sack. So the Jets go up 7-0, their first lead of the season. The Jets defense looked awful last night. So on the first possession, early on, they were just running the ball down the Jets' throats. 5 yards, 15, 5 yards. It was like, how is this possible? You know that with a quarterback like Brett Rippon, who no one's heard of before last week, that they would start to run the ball, and the Jets had no answer for it. They would march down the field, but settle for a field goal to make it 7-3. A little bit of panic would ensue because Sam Darnold would leave with an injury on the next possession. So what happens is he drops back, looks like he had someone deep, didn't take the shot, instead gets sacked and spun down and thrown down on his right shoulder. It looked like they were speculating something about his collarbone. It could have been the collarbone, could have been the shoulder. I think we found out later after the game that it was a shoulder issue, but Sam Darnold goes down, and it looked bad. It looked like he was not going to return. Luckily, he would come back on the next possession somehow, but the Jets would end up punting, and then a pretty embarrassing play would happen next. So on the next possession, Pierre Desir got mossed. Jerry Jeudy just took the ball essentially right out of him. So there was a jump ball on the right sideline, and good position by Pierre Desir. He had himself in a good spot. He wasn't beat for the first time all night and the only time all night, but he was in a good position for an interception, and instead Jerry Jeudy just reaches right over him, grabs it, and walks into the end zone. It was just, again, embarrassing. So Sam Darnold would end up returning and replacing Joe Flacco, but the Jets would have to punt because Sam Darnold comes back on a 3rd down play and then gets sacked. Go figure. So they would punt, and then on the next possession, we would get a Pierre Desir interception. So he made up for it a little bit. He made a really nice play on the sidelines to get both feet in. I don't know where Rippon was throwing that ball. He should have threw it up into the stands, but he didn't get it out enough, and it ended up getting picked off. So the Jets are moving the ball a little bit, and then on this next possession, on a 3rd down play, Sam Darnold tried to throw a backdoor fade to Lawrence Cager, and it looked like his hamstring just exploded. Like he just dropped. Like it must have burst or something on him, because it was actually a pretty good ball from Sam, but he went down. It wasn't caught, so the Jets would settle for a long field goal attempt. He missed the field goal, but there was an unnecessary roughness penalty from the Denver Broncos for running into the long snapper, Hennessy. So the Jets would get a 1st down, and the play calling after was just atrocious after that 1st down. Like, run with Gore, Sam running for his life on 3rd down. Like, unbelievable. So they would end up having to settle for a field goal just 3 plays later, and it would be a 10-10 game. The Jets defense looked really bad on the next possession. The whole game, really, they looked bad, but they would get another personal foul penalty. They had 4 in the first half, and Melvin Gordon would end up running in a 1-yard touchdown to make it 17-10. The Jets would settle for a field goal right before the half to make it 17-13. All right, so now in the second half, the Jets would get the ball in the red zone, and again, some awful play calling. Like, why is Frank Gore getting his name called on 1st down, 2nd down, and then a wheel route to him on 3rd down? He's 37 years old. This makes 0 sense. Adam Gase did not call a good game, and we know the results of it, but it was just mind-numbing, the play calling right there in the red zone. So the Jets would settle for a field goal, make it 17-16. Rippon again would march his team right down the field. Beautiful touchdown pass. Beat guess who? Pierre Desir. 24-16 was the score now at this point. Jets offense didn't really do too much. The Broncos would move it a little bit and settle for a 54-yard field goal attempt, which was good. Jets offense didn't do a whole lot, so the Broncos get it back. They would settle for a 54-yard field goal attempt and hit it to go up 27-16, an 11-point game late. Seemed like it was all over, right? So the Jets would move the ball a little bit on the next possession. Darnold actually found Crowder for a really big game. Boy, was Crowder missed. He had himself a great night. The drive would stall, though. Go figure. They'd settle for a field goal to make it 27-19 now at this point. And then on the ensuing possession for Denver, we have a pick six. Pierre Desir intercepts Rippon again, and he takes it back for a touchdown. So it's 27-25. 2-point conversion, no good. So that's what the score remains at. Again, Pierre Desir did not have a good game. Do not let the 2 interceptions and the 1 pick six change your mind on that. He let up so many big plays, and it was ugly. 2 passes later, it would be another interception, this time Brian Poole. So the Jets get the ball in pretty good field position, but guess what? They have to settle for a field goal. 28-27 is your score at this point. Denver is moving the ball right down the field. Quinnen takes his second big penalty of the game. It would have gotten the Jets off the field on 3rd down, but he gets called for a face mask, extends the drive. The Broncos, settle for a field goal to go up on the Jets, 30-28. Jets get the ball back. Darnold would get sacked on 4th down. Big run from Melvin Gordon after that for 43 yards. It was how he got in the end zone on that play was unbelievable. Basically runs up the middle, hits a wall, just takes it to the outside, and then just goes. So 37-28. That was your final score, 37-28. Darnold was 23 of 42 for 230 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. He did have that rushing touchdown earlier. He looked okay. It was kind of similar to the San Francisco 49ers game. He's really hamstrung by what he's dealing with the players around him and the coaching staff, and clearly he just doesn't look like the same player. I would have really liked to see him without Adam Gase, but we're not going to get that opportunity. Gase is not going to lose his job today, which is a disgrace. So we're going to see 12 more games of Sam Darnold with Adam Gase and Dowell Loggins. Does that yield the number 1 overall pick? Maybe. I don't know. But not a great loss, especially when you look at the schedule and you see who's coming up. I don't see a win in here for a while. It can get ugly. It could get even more ugly. So Jets lose 37-28. What are you going to do? Let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this game. What you thought of Darnold, Gase, all that fun stuff. That'll do it for now. I'm Matt O'Leary. If you're new here, please subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.